I know it's immoral, and still I do it. However,
Immoral,
we're
yeah.
trying to eat biological lately. I know where it comes from, and I also spoke to a farmer who actually grows this kind of food.
I think
Let me finish. Let me
Oil,
finish.
right?
Let me finish.
Plastic. So
Let
in
me
a
finish.
sense, everything that you're wearing also is also
Yes, yes. Let me finish.
So, and you also make a conscious choice of still wearing things that is also made of oil.
Let me finish.
Plastic, which is also killing the nature.
What the hell? I started
No.
talking.
No, but he doesn't answer my question then.
Not. What do you know about Superman? You know about
Yes.
Superman, right? He's an alien, basically, who came from another planet. He's came to Earth. He definitely can overpower anybody, and he's got power over all of us, right?
Mhm.
Okay. So my question is: do you think that with great power comes great responsibility?
yes.
What does that imply? What does responsibility imply in this case?
That you feel like you want to do something for the thing that you don't like to be like that.
Okay, that's a good one. Yeah. So in that sense, I would say, so basically, if let me see if I get it right. Is that you think that with great power comes the responsibility to use the power wisely, right?
Yes.
So one thing we can all agree on is that with great power, we shouldn't abuse our power, right? That it would be immoral for us to abuse our power, right?
Yes.
Okay. So I'm just gonna throw some hypotheticals out there. In a scenario where Superman, let's say, wants to abuse his power over somebody and wants to take them back to his place, to his lair of doom. Okay. First of all, would you say it's ethical or is it moral for Superman to take this person against their will to his place?
No.
No.
Depends who the person is and why he wants
Just
to.
because he wants to.
General, no.
In general, no.
But
Okay.
he will save people or not? Or he is just
No, in this case, he's just like it's not about saving it,
Okay.
saving anybody. It's about himself. He just feels like he wants to take somebody to his home, lock them up in his basement, and be like, yeah.
Then the answer is no.
It's not moral, right? Okay, and maybe I don't know. Yeah. So I'll pose some hypotheticals in this scenario. So what if the person is vulnerable or defenseless?
Yo.
Is it moral if Superman wants to do this to them?
No.
No.
No. Okay. What if the person is maybe passed out, maybe drugged, or mentally challenged, or in a situation where they can't remember what's going to happen to them? Is that moral?
If his goal is still just to lock them up in his basement, then no, it's not moral.
I agree.
Let's call it selfish goals.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. What if this person looked different? Maybe they have a different skin color. Maybe they have a different hair type. Maybe they have a lot of hair, or maybe no hair at all. Is it moral?
Same, no.
No.
Shouldn't matter.
Okay, so we've established that regardless what the person looks like, regardless of what state the person is in, regardless if they can remember or not, power should not be exerted onto them against their will, right?
Correct.
Okay, what if Superman really wants to do it? Like he's like, I really want to take this person back to my home.
You should give a reason, I think.
Just for his own selfish reasons. I just like, he wants to use this person for, I don't know, and to enslave them. He wants to enslave this person to make them cook the whole life.
I think what is going on in the world now, it's really happening. Like whatever the skin color is, whatever the situation of the person, if somebody is strong, they take the weak person or they kill that person or rape that person. So
But the question is it moral?
it's not moral, of course.
It's not moral. Okay. What if it benefits Superman? It gives him pleasure to do this. Is it moral?
If it's just for him, then no.
It's
still
just for him.
Oh.
Yeah. Okay. What if there's a league of superheroes and everybody does it? Everybody takes once per week somebody home or something. Does it make it moral if everybody does it?
It will be normalized, but it's still not moral.
Okay, I like that. And what if it were legal? Somehow Superman is above the law and it's legal for him to do
I
this.
think same answer. Like it's
Same answer?
legal,
It's
but
not moral,
moralized,
right?
no.
Okay, and what if this whole league has been doing it for a while and it's part of their tradition? It's basically what? Do you want to stop their tradition? Is it moral?
I know where you're going to. Well, with the eyes of today, it's not moral.
It's
but
not
probably with the eyes in the past,
But I
it would
think
maybe be moral,
morality
yeah.
is changing because the percentage of people doing something all the time, then the moral, like I say war, but for them it's not war. It's just they defend themselves.
Yeah, but
So
morality is
it's not-
subjective, isn't it?
yes.
So my question is to you: do you think it's moral?
I don't think it's moral, but although it's not moral, it's happening.
Yeah. That's a
yeah.
different thing.
Yeah,
That's a
yeah.
different thing, right? Okay. So no matter how the person looks like, no matter what state they're in, whether they can understand or not, right? Regardless, if the person benefits from it, regardless if it's normal or if it's a tradition, power should not be exerted onto somebody against their will. Correct?
Correct.
Okay. And my next question, and I'm not trying to catch you up on this one. I used to pay for it too. What do you think about animals being sent into the slaughterhouse for us?
I know it's immoral, and still I do it. However,
Immoral,
we're
yeah.
trying to eat biological lately, so
Yeah.
at least find a compromise. But I'm 100% aware that when meat or chicken or whatever is that cheap, the chickens pay for it, and the animals pay for it.
Doesn't
By
matter
being
the
slaughtered
price.
and-
The animals always pay for it, right? Because regardless of what the animals go through, animals still die
Of
needlessly,
course,
right?
yeah.
Do you think we need to consume animal products? As in, can we survive and thrive without eating animal products?
Very difficult question. Because I think in a lot of ways, like the way people eat, let's say vegetarian, vegan, is also costing the planet. Let's say avocados, the travel of avocados.
It's not, but we can deal with that later.
It costs a lot of energy and resources also of the world. I do think we should consume less. I do think carnivorism is kind of in humanity, kind of in human beings. But the way we do it, this mass production, I absolutely agree that has to stop.
So again, the answer is: do you think we can survive and thrive without it?
Yes. The question is, can you survive without meat?
It's not if we did it for a long time. We did it for a long time. It's not if we can digest it. We can digest it. The question is, can we stop using it? Oh, I'll just cut the scene because, like, scientifically speaking, there's a for example, the largest nutritional organization in the world called the Academy of Nutrition and Dietetics says that vegan diet is suitable for all ages and stages of life.
Right.
So in that sense, a well-planned vegan diet. So in that sense, we don't need it. We can survive and thrive. And there's also plenty of vegans out there who survived and thrived for tens of years and nothing happened. There's bicentenarials, I think they're called, people who reached up above 100 years old who have no issues. But none of that is, let's say, indicative. It's more of the studies that were backed by this statement from this organization, who's, by the way, in no way a vegan or a vegetarian organization. It's a normal organization of nutritionists, the largest one. So given that we don't need to, right? Let's say we don't need to. And given that, as we discussed the previous scenario, we have power over animals, right? Would you agree that we have power over animals?
We have, but we don't have power of the masses as well. So as long as the majority will still consume it, there's basically nothing you can do about it.
No, but we don't have power over animals. We do have power over animals, right? So that's why I ask, if everybody does it make it moral? It doesn't, right? So in that sense, we have power over animals. We exert our power by putting them into slaughterhouses, regardless if we do it.
I know where you're going to, but I think the majority that human beings are doing is not moral. Driving cars is not moral.
But let's not talk
Fighting
about
is
the
not
majority.
moral.
Let's talk
Fighting
about
war is not
I
moral.
think it's this. Like, basically, let's say we said about the war, like somebody is in the.
No, I know where you're going to, but let's say we can also decide not to drive cars, not to make war, not to fight, not to hurt each other. But still, that's in humanity.
But you don't pay for any of this, right? Do you pay for people for war to happen? Do you pay for? Do you intentionally?
Yes, we do. We're
do
paying tax money while we know that governments are actually going to war.
With the intention to do that? Is that your intent?
Well, but I know it's
deciding. You're not deciding. You're not.
Yeah, you're not the deciding.
We are. We're not protesting against.
Did you vote for the? Okay, I want to.
Nobody is opposing it. Everybody knows that Holland is doing it. Everybody knows the US is doing it. Nobody.
Regardless, like the only difference between what you mentioned and just now is that you have a different choice, right? Let's say for the government, you cannot skip paying taxes, can you, right? And whether the government
you can oppose them.
You can oppose them and you can go and protest, and that's one thing you can do, and that's an awesome thing to do. If you oppose something that the government does, you should be able to do that. However, you cannot stop what the government is doing. You can only do that by voting.
No,
right?
I get where you're going to.
You 3 times per day, you make this choice, right? You have another option, which is the vegan option. So that means every time you make a choice, you do choose for an animal to die for yourself, and you do exert your power over that animal. Would you say that's immoral?
It's immoral, but at the same time, buying an iPhone also means that African people are dying in mines in order to get the mineral.
I understand.
But of course,
I
I know
there's
I'm doing
other.
something immoral, but I also believe that immorality is part of being a human. And I think it's very important to be as moral as possible, but I don't think you can eradicate all immorality of human beings.
I'm not saying that.
Part of
I'm not
us,
saying
like-
that, but like, given that you have a readily available option, this isn't even a difficult thing to do, right? It's
Me
about
personally, for example, I live a very active life. I notice if I don't, for example, consume meat for let's say more than 3 or 4 days, I feel like absolute crap.
yeah, but feeling I feel like crap sometimes just because I feel
No, but
like crap
physically,
doesn't
like
mean
I
anything,
cannot
right?
function the way I have to function. So
But-
I do
but
feel
have you
my
consulted
body
an-
needs the fiber and the nutrition.
But fiber is not coming from meat, by the way. Fiber is coming from plants only. Fiber is not in meat.
Well, then whatever is in me, like
Wait,
it
I
does feel
want
that.
to just with this, like basically, if let's say these companies who are slaughtering for us, let's say, if they wouldn't exist that much, if we were not able to buy it that quickly, also.
So why do you think they exist?
Because there's a demand for it.
Because there's demand for it. Because you pay for it, right?
But
So do you acknowledge your responsibility in the matter? Do you acknowledge the fact that animals go into the slaughterhouse because you choose for them to go into slaughterhouses?
I 100% agree, but I think in the big picture, I'm just saying, like, it's more. I think this kind of question is more like a luxury question because we are like the 1% that can actually think about these kind of problems.
Yeah.
And I think 99% of all the other people in the world, they don't even have this option to think about.
And don't you think
So
then
it
it's
will
even,
happen, and it doesn't make it less moral.
don't you think then it's even more the responsibility? It's even more responsibility that you have, that you think about it and then you act. So that because the more you act and try to be vegan and not pray for animals to go into slaughterhouses, the more vegan products become available on the
But
market
don't you
and
think
become more
that-
affordable.
But don't you
And
think
thus
then
the
just
lower
market
classes
just
can
doesn't
afford
go
it.
to other places in the world then?
Say that again.
Because the demand exists. All these slaughterhouses exist, and if I don't eat it, they will just ship it to Germany.
Actually,
or just ship it to anywhere
the
else.
consumption of meat and animal-based products is monumentally higher in Western Europe, in US countries, but none of that is important, right? What I want to discuss is your involvement in the matter, right? Because you think it's immoral, you think you know you have a choice, and you're concerned about your health, which I completely understand, right? But like, wouldn't you say, like, if I were to ask you, would you kill a dog if the only thing you could eat is dog meat? Would you buy dog meat?
In my situation now, no.
No,
Of course not.
no. So then, what is the difference, the morally significant difference between a dog and a pig or a cow that says, I'm fine killing one and not consulting on a professional or trying to not even stop from killing them? Whereas with the other one, I'm like, hell no, I'm not touching that. I'm not touching.
Well, because you don't have personal connection to it, and it's still just as immoral, but you don't have the same feeling that you have, of course, for your own dog that you built up 12 years of relationship with.
But what about the other side, the victims? Do you think on their side, do you think there's any difference?
I
Because
realize
it's
that
easy-
every day whenever I eat meat, what I eat.
Yeah.
I realize it 100%. And
Yeah.
I'm realizing 100% what kind of life they have.
I think one
That's why we switched to biological food. So at
Biological
least
means nothing,
they
by
had,
the way.
well, I know where it comes from. And I also spoke to a farmer who actually grows this kind of food.
I think we
I
should.
see how the animals
I
live.
think we should, in general, decrease the amount of meat people are consuming.
Meat
Because
and animal
Meat
products.
and animal products. So it's overkill. Like we are overkilling animals and we are overeating. I
But
think that
decreasing-
can
so-
be the first thing to do, because then at least the number.
But I know your
of
point,
animals dying-
but
That's a good first step, but it's not about number
Yeah,
of
but I
animals,
know,
right?
but
It's about animal rights. That's what it is,
I
right?
know, but I think once you, I'm not saying you're opposing it, but once you demand from people to do something completely the other way,
I don't demand
it
anything.
will actually work the other way.
So the way
I think that the key to have a more like moral society with all of us is becoming more aware of things, finding more of a middle ground, and then not a matter of don't eat meat or eat a lot of meat.
But why
That
does it
will
matter?
just-
Because see, you know that it's immoral. You said you're aware every time you eat meat, and still you choose to eat meat.
Yes,
You know there's no difference between a dog and a cow.
because
yet
I
you
just told you,
discriminate.
I feel like I really need it. I
Because
need
I
to
think
eat
there
meat.
You're still
Wait,
discriminated,
consuming
right?
it.
Because you said if you
there
were
is
only
this,
dog meat, you wouldn't discriminate.
Of
You
course I'm
wouldn't buy.
discriminating, but that I don't disagree with you that it's immoral.
There
I
is
do
this thing-
And it's a
agree that
discrimination.
I need it in my life.
And it is discrimination.
Of course, I will not kill my own cat to eat it.
No.
But if I kill, just like in war, people that go to war, they don't want to kill their own family, but they don't care if like an Afghani terrorist.
But
So
it's
of
not the
course
same
people-
thing, is it?
It
Because
is.
again, you have a choice. Those people don't have a choice. Those people defend themselves. You mentioned these situations, but you're put in a situation where you have to either move your hand and choose a different aisle from the
I get what you're
supermarket,
saying,
or
but-
you're in a restaurant and pick a different option that doesn't kill animals. For you, it's not a matter.
I never said I don't have choice. I said I'm
Yeah,
choosing,
there's a
and I'm
difference.
saying I am aware of what I'm eating and of what the process is for what I'm eating, and trying to eat it in such a way that hopefully is a little more beneficial to the animal. And of course, in the end, it's
It's
immoral. Just like using a phone, driving a car, flying a plane, everything is immoral. And I'm 100% aware of it.
Okay.
We are immoral people.
But would
in
you?
general.
But it's about rights, right?
He's asking,
It's
do you
about
want to change
animal
it?
rights.
Yes,
That's the thing. It's about sentient individual rights, such as ourselves. If I were to ask you, even for about a
But
human
then
being,
don't buy phones anymore. It's
Okay,
also about human
okay,
rights.
so- but
The
that's a
clothes that
different
you
thing,
wear-
right?
Okay, okay.
That's a different thing
Right?
because
The
there are.
question is just this: do you think you would change it?
We are already changing
That's
it because we're aware of it.
But it's
But
not
he
change-
wants
it's,
to fully cut it out.
No, I
So
want
that's, I think,
animals
is
to
me.
not die. I want animals to not have their rights infringed. I want us to not exert our power over animals. You see what I mean? It's not a matter of eating. You keep thinking about yourself and saying, well, for me, for me, for me. But you don't think about the other side, the victims. You see,
Well, no,
for
that's
them,
because I
for
just
them,
told
it's
you
a
I'm
real life.
100% aware what I'm
They're-
eating. I know what is happening.
And you know, okay, tell me what happens in the dairy industry. If you buy biological products, what happens in the dairy industry for your
But
products?
you know it better than me, probably.
But you
right?
said you know. I'm not trying to catch up on this, but like if a lot of people aren't aware that cows are forcefully impregnated, they have their babies taken from them like immediately after
Same
birth.
question. What is this microphone made?
Then let me finish. Let me
Oil,
finish.
right?
Let me finish.
Plastic. So
Let
in
me
a
finish.
sense, everything that you're wearing also is also
Yes, yes.
oil.
Let me finish.
So and you also make a conscious choice of still wearing things that is also made of oil.
Let me finish.
Plastic, which is also killing the nature.
If the baby
Right?
baby is a female, they go into
No,
the
I know
same.
where you're going to.
If the
I'm
baby
just-
is a male,
I'm
they
just
slaughter.
reflecting you the
If
question. I'm
the
just
female
like-
is,
give me an answer then.
but you
as
said
well.
if you know, okay, finish
Give
my
me-
sentence
no,
before.
give me- no,
What
but
the hell? I started
no,
talking.
No, but he doesn't answer my question then.
No,
Are you
I was
moral?
talking.
Are you moral?
First of all, a person cannot be moral or immoral. An action is either moral or immoral.
Is
Okay.
this action then what you're wearing? Are you fully conscious of the things that you wear?
I'm not saying I'm a saint, man. But think about it this way: if I told you that something you do is killing people, and
This
I
is
ask
also
you
killing
why would it be that your first reaction would be to be so defensive instead of you saying
I'm consuming less. I'm fully aware of what we consume. I know that
you're
animals
fully
are
aware of how
suffering.
many
I
animals you're
know that
killing,
everything are
and
suffering
you know that
when
you're
we eat
killing
it,
them.
and that's why we're eating it less.
Okay, so
And I'm saying I will not stop
Okay,
eating
so what would you
animals.
call
I
a
will just eat
person-
animals in a way that I feel relatively ethical about. That's it. That's
So-
my answer.
okay, so
I'm not saying
you choose for animals not to die.
I'm using it 100%.
Okay,
I think the answer to your question is this: we don't see the animals dying.
you don't see them, but that doesn't mean that it doesn't happen,
I know,
right?
but we just don't get it that they are still dying, as we see the people in the TVs they are dying. So
But-
we don't see it.
So
That's
he
why
wants
we are
us to
able to
fully
eat.
stop.
No,
I'm
but
just
he's-
saying
he's
I am
trying to
choosing
get-
not to fully
I
stop.
don't care what
He's
you do.
trying to
I care about animals. I
visualize
really don't
it,
care
and
what
then
you do.
he says like, okay, animals has emotions, feelings, and
Exactly.
it's
That I get.
it's the same.
I'm not
But
opposing
because
that
you're
idea.
not seeing it, you are able to eat it. If you see it every single day,
So, but I saw plenty of
No, but let's
documentaries
say
about
like this,
animals
you are
suffering.
not killing the
etc.
animal. That's the first thing. And the second thing, you are not seeing
Yeah, but that's not
somebody
his point.
slaughtering it, and then you eat
That's
it
not
after.
his point. He wants to
There is
stop animal suffering. He feels
No,
like
I want to
everybody-
stop inflicting on animal rights.
I
Do you
agree.
believe animals should have the right to their own life and to their body
100%.
autonomy?
100%. Like
Okay, but then
they're
if you
like
believe in this
organisms
and
just
you
like
have
us.
options, if you believe in it and you have options to not pay for this, why would you choose to pay for it? Isn't it cruel to choose to have an animal be enslaved
Of course,
and
but now we're
exploited,
going in
abused,
a
and
loophole. Why do you keep supporting a country and paying taxes that goes to
But it's
war?
not the
Why
same
do you
thing.
keep
I
buying
don't have the
clothes that is
option.
made of
Do
oil?
you
and
understand that
plastic?
it's a different
It's the
case, right?
same.
Do you understand it's not the
In
same?
the end,
I
it's all the
understand
same.
what you mean, but maybe leave it like this.
It's a different
I know,
case.
but it's
I
a
do get it.
loophole. Like
It's not a loophole.
I am choosing.
Okay,
Let me say
okay,
that
let me
I
ask-
am choosing to inflict suffering on animals for my own benefit.
Okay,
I'm trying to do it less in order to make it a little bit more more ethical for the animals as well. And in general, of course, I fully agree with you. I hate animal suffering. I don't want to see them suffer. I also think they have rights. However, yes, I'm partly selfish in choosing animal suffering in order for my own benefit. Same when I'm flying, I'm choosing my own selfish.
But let me ask you this: there's a difference, right? Like if I were to sit here and talk about LGBTQ rights, right, or women's rights, and I was to tell you, well, listen, if you pay for this, women's rights will be infringed, and then you were to come at me and say, yeah, but you fly a plane.
Right.
Oh, but you drive a car. What does that have to do with women's rights? What does any of this have to do with animal
you're talking
rights?
about ethics.
I'm talking about
and
animal
you're talking
rights, man.
about morality as well.
And morality and animal rights. It's animal rights.
I know, but what is your conclusion? What you would like us to realize?
It's your conclusion in your head. You don't have to conclude something.
It's that you are responsible for this.
I know, and I told you, I know, I'm aware.
And you send animals to
I'm
slaughterhouses.
100% aware.
You pay for animals to be abused,
100%
exploited,
aware of it.
and you have options. So it's not like you have no other
Well,
option.
I choose my option to eat biological food and eat less. That's my option.
Biological means nothing,
but
man.
apparently that's not enough for you.
But
So
biological
what do you
means
then want?
nothing.
Then what do
Biological
you want?
means nothing. I'm
I'm already saying I'm aware, I'm eating less, and that's it. So what is your conclusion then?
Why are you eating less?
Because I don't feel ethical about it, and I don't feel I need to eat it. Because before I ate more, I consumed every day meat, chicken. Now I feel like my body doesn't need as much, so I'm consuming less. And I'm consuming it less until a point I feel like now I'm content. My body is content. My body feels healthy. That's it.
Yeah, but it's not just about.
I know it's not enough. It's not. I know.
I'm not saying it's
that's
not
what I'm
enough,
saying.
man.
What is your?
I'm not saying.
Like,
Listen, you have to for a second detach yourself from your own persona and think that there's victims on the other side.
It's always about your own persona, because otherwise, like I said, otherwise you will never buy clothes, never buy a phone, never buy a car, never fly a plane, never go to war, etc.
Yeah, but
it's
the difference.
about.
Okay, let me put it this way: if you have an option, when you buy clothes, you have an option that exploits humans and an option that doesn't exploit humans. Would you choose the option to buy clothes that exploit humans?
I think 99% of people choose the option to buy clothes.
Would you choose the option to
If I 100% know that it's made with child labor, no, I would probably buy the little bit more expensive.
Okay, so you would choose the option that doesn't exploit humans.
Yes.
Okay. What is it that you cannot make a choice?
As I told you, my body needs it. I feel like I need it.
But your body is not in any way special than any other person's body, right?
Yeah, exactly. Well, that I don't know.
Well,
everybody is different, so maybe your body is reacting different. But
That's what we can do. Yeah? This week we are not buying meat.
well,
it's not this week.
I feel like I need it.
Let's see.
Okay. No. Okay. Okay. Let's calm down. Okay. Let's calm down.
I'm calm, but you want radical.
Okay.
Radical
At least
stopping.
you can
Suffering.
I want you.
without it and see how you can do it.
I 100% agree with your point of view. I just feel like the way, like
yes, the way I do it is not okay. Yes.
Your ideas on other people, and you want the complete.
I'm not. I'm just telling you. I'm just telling you. If you find something immoral, you should live up to your own moral standard.
That's my point of view. Everything is immoral. Today, probably I will do 6 different things.
That's an appeal to futility. That's an appeal to futility. Let me give you a card before you go.
Sure.
That's an appeal to futility, by the way, right?
Yeah,
it means, but there's no sense then. There's no sense then in saying, because you know why this is important. Because there's no sense if you say, well, there's no sense something is going to be immoral. Then why don't you do more immoral stuff? You see what I mean?
Do moral stuff, and I'm trying to do less immoral stuff. But I'm not
exactly.
Let me say it like this: I'm not naive enough to say that I'm completely moral person and that I'm doing everything moral. I think humanity, in a sense, is completely immoral. Everything we're producing, everything we're consuming, everything we're doing is all immoral.
Again, that means nothing. Would that mean that you should infringe on women's rights? No. Would that mean you should infringe on LGBT rights? No. Why would that mean that we should infringe on animals' rights?
You know what I mean? Like, we are totally immoral, but in the list of immorality,
I get it. That's why I'm consuming less also, but that's not enough. That's why I'm saying I'm consuming less. That's not enough.
We have to go.
Yeah, you have to go. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. Listen, I just want you. First of all, listen. I know you claim you know about the animal industry. Okay, I'll just give you one thing. Watch it, and if afterwards you still want to consume it, it's all up to you. Okay, that's all it is. And
I saw a lot of documentaries about.
It's not a documentary. This is a speech. This is a speech. Okay, it's not a documentary. That's a speech. It's called the most important speech you'll ever hear. Okay, you didn't know about what happens in the dairy industry. This is just a tiny fraction of what's happening in there. You will probably once you see it, you will say, "Fuck it," because a lot of people imagine that we somehow live in symbiosis with these animals, and when they're ready, we kill them. It's not true, okay? It's so far from the truth, including for biological, okay? And you seem to care about it, okay? You seem to care about morality. And whether this discussion got heated or not is a different thing, right? I mean, it did get heated, but like, I just want you to first get informed, and then you make your decision. I cannot police you any further, okay? So that's all I want you to do. Is that okay?
Sure.
Okay. So if you go on this website right here, Movies that with the fee, or you scan this QR code.
I could take a picture of it.
Okay. Well, actually, no. Please take this card because it
Oh, we
also
can
got
take
this
it.
new. Yeah.
Nice.
Your perception is the only difference, the only real difference.
Cool. We will take it.
Yeah. So just watch. If you go on this website, put in this code or scan this. There's a thing called. The most important speech you will ever hear.
I'm going to challenge your belief systems today, so certain parts of the speech will be intense.
Listen, I'm here speaking on behalf of animals, and if you were in their shoes, I would speak for you also, okay? This is all it is. I'm just speaking for their rights. What's your name?
Denise.
De-
Denise.
Denise. Nice to meet you, Denise and yours, okay? Look, check that out, please. And
We will.
okay,
All right. Have a good day.
thank you. You too.
Ciao.